We've got a new fusion coming and it looks pretty interesting.
Shoot him, kid.
Hello everybody, I'm Roadblock and this is a Raid Shadow Legends video. A quick update for you guys. So, I've been out of town for 2 days, and as luck would have it, I recorded 2 videos for you guys. No audio. My microphone wasn't on. I, for whatever reason, can't get Windows to remember the default mic, so whenever OBS swaps back to the default, it's not this one right here. So either way, it's a thing I'm working on. I'm troubleshooting, but we're making progress there. So in the meantime, I've got an alert on my screen here to prevent me from accidentally not having my mic on. Hopefully it works. And as always, I'm recording this late at night, so if there's some jump cuts, it's probably because my amazing editor, who I thank so much for putting up with the fact that the 2 videos I recorded didn't have audio, but my amazing editor will probably be taking out all my yawns as I record this. It's been a long couple of days, but great big news in the raid world today. We got the announcement of the new fusion, and Kroz Wallbreaker is the name of the fusion. Looks to be pretty interesting. I'm excited. I'm actually really excited for this fusion, so we'll kind of get into it. I'm gonna go from the A1 down. All right, it's a little bit blurry, guys. I apologize for that. We're gonna start with the A1 and go down. Listen up, I just got a new promo link that you can use to follow along with me on my latest free-to-play adventure and get a free Elenaril, as well as 3 more powerful epics as you level up. Here's how to do it. Log out of Plarium Play and uninstall. Click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Launch Raid and complete the tutorial. Go to your inbox and claim your first champ. Don't miss out on your chance to get Elenaril right after signing up, as well as Fayne, Uugo, and Tagoar as you progress through Raid. Click on my link right now and let's crush this together. This is Kroz Wallbreaker. I love the image. I did see in some other YouTube videos, kind of. Actually, no, I didn't really see what he looks like. I actually listened to him on my drive home today. I was listening to some feedback on him, and it sounded promising. We'll talk about why. We'll also talk about like why not, right? I kind of want to be transparent about that and look at it from all directions. But let's go through the kit first, and then we'll get to that. So, attacks one enemy 3 times, so we have a triple hitter A1. Each hit has a 30% chance of decreasing the detonation countdown of all bomb debuffs on the target by 1 turn. Also has a 30% chance of placing a stun debuff on the target for 1 turn. So this was an interesting question that I heard on Nub's video today. You've got each hit has that 30% chance of decreasing the bomb cooldown, but then the question comes, does each hit also have a 30% chance, or is the just overarching attack only having that 30% chance? And that books up to 50% chance, by the way. So we don't know that yet, or at least I don't know that yet. So if you guys hear different, great. Feel free to put it in the comments. But we'll find out as we get closer. I'm sure there'll be test server stuff. Next, we have the A2. This is called Battlefield Sapper. Has a 75% chance, books up to 100% chance of placing 2 bomb debuffs on each enemy that detonate after 2 turns. Then fills this champion's turn meter by 25% for each enemy with a bomb debuff. Okay, so this is, how they're going to place their bombs, of course. They're 2-turn detonating bombs, which is important to remember because there are some 3-turn detonating bombs in the game, which are not useless, but a lot harder to get use out of. So having the 2-turn ones and a way to activate them, a la Nishak and other bomb champions, of course, is very handy. Fills this champion's turn meter by 25% for each enemy with a bomb debuff. It's very important to note the wording of this, because normally you would say, fills this champion for each bomb debuff placed. But this is saying that it fills their turn meter for each enemy with a bomb debuff. That means bombs from other champions count. And that is actually going to be important if you find a way to pair Wallbreaker with other bomb champions. Now, that can be difficult, just to be clear. That's not the easiest thing to do. In a 4-man team, having another bomb champion is difficult, but it's just very important to understand that it's just saying that they have the debuff and not placed by him, which I think is an important distinction. So, and it is worth noting that these place bombs, so there is no attack associated with this bomb placement, meaning weak hits will not be a thing for placing the bomb. Another important factor which makes him affinity friendly bomber, that's really freaking good because you don't have to worry about affinity. So a lot of value there because I use Nishak a lot. I have a Skinwalker's team. Nishak is my bomb champion. I love having him on that team. But if he weak hits, I could end up losing an important battle, right? Or, things can go south very quickly. So it's important to understand that this would almost guarantee, provided that your accuracy is higher than their resistance, which will give you a very powerful team against Stone Skin. We'll get into the pros and cons after we finish going over the kit. On the A3, this is an attack all enemies, and this has a 100% chance when booked, chance of decreasing the detonation of all bombs by 1 turn. Also has a 75% chance of placing a block active skills for 2 turns. So let's break this down a little bit more, right? Assuming that you can get an extra turn for placing the bombs, which is pretty reasonable, right? You're filling the champion's turn meter by 25% for each enemy with a bomb debuff. So that's 100%, provided that you have bombs on 1, 2, 3, 4. The accuracy is high enough. If you don't get 3%, then there you go, right? So you'll get that extra turn essentially, and then roll right into an opportunity to decrease the cooldown so that as soon as they get a turn that those bombs blow, and placing a block active skills. This is actually really, really valuable too, because you're going to prevent ways to cleanse that bomb. Outside of passive cleanses, you're going to not have a way to take those bombs off, allowing you to do damage. Something that tends to happen with my bomber, Nishak. Like, I also have Commodus, but that's a different argument. I'm not going to compare, this to a mythical. But comparing to Nishak makes a lot of sense, because Nishak works in a similar way. Nishak places the bombs, takes off 1 tick of the bombs, and then pop, 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 right? As they start taking their turns, they all go pop, pop, pop. He would do a similar thing, but it's less consistent because it's not just a guaranteed extra turn. It's a possible extra turn, provided that you land bombs on every single champion. It's very important to understand that distinction, but I think it's also a great way to balance him while also bringing him into a different realm than Nishak. So I do give a lot of credit for that. And that block active skills, let's say that you place your bomb, you decrease the detonation timer on the bomb, and their Siphi goes and doesn't die because Siphi has a ton of HP, is built very well. Or perhaps even had a way, to prevent that initial bomb. The block active skills would at least, obviously my scenario doesn't make a lot of sense because he's not going to get that extra turn. So let's just say you place all the bombs, but they have a cleanser, and that cleanser is going to take your bombs away. Well, not only do you decrease the cooldown, but you also place that block active skills. So let's say you decrease the cooldown and they take their turn and we don't get a block active skills, but they're tanky enough to survive the bombs from this champion, and they cleanse all the other bombs off of the weaker champions, and then your team gets blown up. That block active skills could prevent that. So even if you're not built in a way that is going to guarantee a kill, you could still prevent the cleanse from the tanky champions. So something important to remember, and that's the first thing I think of when I hear that. Plus, block active skills is just really good. It's slightly better than cooldown reduction in some ways because it can prevent mythicals from transforming, which is always valuable as well. So yeah, I think it's really good. Then we go to the passive. Fills all turn meters by 5% each time a bomb debuff detonates. Has a 20% chance of activating an instant turn on this champion whenever an ally or an enemy is killed by a bomb debuff. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm curious if there may be opportunities in the future from a PvE perspective for bombs to be somewhat useful, but I do think that this is a good champion. But let's break it down. So lots of champions are good. Lots of champions are great. I like this champion. I think this champion could be very useful, even on my main account, even on my free-to-play. However, important however, I don't think I'm going to go for Kroz Wallbreaker, but I want to be clear about why. So we'll take this off the screen, give a breakdown of him. Let me get myself back into my normal position. So for my main account, I have Commodus. We're not comparing Commodus. I think Commodus is in a league of their own. Commodus is the better bomber. And if we change forms here just for a second, while this is predicated on a hit, I do land the bomb pretty consistently. So I just don't necessarily need another bomb champion. I also, as I've mentioned many times in this video so far, I also have Nishak. And Nishak brings bombs in a very similar way, albeit in a different affinity, and it requires a non-weak hit in order to place those bombs. Yeah, it's another bomber isn't gonna hurt. However, I am tired. We had a very, very long Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles event, and while I think this champion is a good bomber, and will help me out in both of my accounts as far as the Ogren tribes go, because I need help with Ogren tribes on the normal side of Faction Wars on my free-to-play. It's just a difficult sell for the main account. And for the free-to-play account, I just don't have the resources. I need time to recoup my resources and be ready to go for a fusion later. Preferably, maybe a Christmas fusion. Because while they haven't always been great, the Christmas ones, there's a possibly higher probability that they might. Nishak was a Christmas fusion, I think. Then we had Lady Noelle, of course. So I don't want to put myself in a position on the free-to-play to miss out on a really good support. Do I need a bomb champion on that side? Absolutely I do. But at the end of the day, I have Nice over there, and I'm kind of happy with that. So as far as the main account goes, it's good, and it's worth it. I want to be clear. It is a worth it champion for my account. I just need a break. I did so much. Right? We did a fusion. Then we did a Titan event for a champion that I skipped. Then then we had the fusion for the dog was in there, right? Seems so long ago, right? But the fusion for the dog was in there. Then we had the Sanguine Maria fusion. Like, we've just had so many kind of good back-to-back fusions. Then we had the Leonardo summoning event and the Raphael Tech of Fate. And I was looking forward to all of those things, but it's just like it all happened boom, boom, boom at the end. And I'm just beat. I need a break. So as good as this fusion is, I'm going to take a break, but it's important to remember. My free-to-play account is taking a break for different reasons. I need to save my resources. My main account is taking a break because I have good bomb champions. If you don't have good bomb champions, and if you have the resources, I think this is a very valuable pickup. At the very, very least, it's going to give you a bomb option in Arena, which is a massive, massive counter to Stone Skin, right? Because if you don't already know it, bombs do go through Stone Skin. So, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe they do increased damage to Stone Skin as well. When bomb debuff expired, the affected champion suffers direct damage that ignores their defense value. The damage inflicted by bomb scales per the stat indicated in the skill description. Where am I miss Stone Skin? Stone Skin buff decreases the damage except the damage received from bombs and HP burn. Removes all debuffs except bombs and HP burn. Gives immunity to all debuffs, even those that cannot usually be blocked except bombs and HP burn. Also grants an additional Stone Skin shield. A champion with the Stone Skin is immune to the decreased max HP and decreased turn meter effects. So, bombs, they don't do increased damage, but they can ignore Stone Skin effects, which is very valuable for getting through Stone Skin Champions, plain and simple. Now, I have those options on my account with Commodus and Nishak, so ultimately this is going to be a skip, but only because I would like to have a little bit of a break. I've already recouped some shards. I, feel pretty good about things right now on the account. It's just something that I'm going to take a little bit of a break, relax, and that allows me time to focus on the free-to-play and make sure that I'm optimizing my play over there to get some of those resources back, because that's very important to me. So overall, that's how I feel about the Fusion. Those are my thoughts. Share your thoughts with me in the comments. I love reading those comments. You guys give me a lot of different insight that maybe I hadn't considered about why a champion may be good, why a champion may be bad. So I'd love to hear that. Either way, guys, I want to thank you all so much for all your support. If you are new here, please consider subscribing. It is the best way to support the channel. And I look forward to seeing all of you in the next video. Take care.